Today, we are going to bring a whole new level of success to your practice. Hey guys, my name is Stefan, and in this episode, I'm ready to debunk how do you actually build a truly successful clinic that can absolutely serve hundreds of thousands of people and create amazing results and build a happy team. And it boils down to five things. Now, the first thing we need to consider is, and I'm going to take you on this maybe a little bit more of a visual journey today, and obviously you have to excuse my writing is not great, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it will help. It will help, I promise you. And by the end of the video, you will be able to apply at least one of those things in your practice that will completely change your bottom line, your revenue, the number of patients you serve, the way your team sees you, the way you build a team, and just building a successful, bulletproof business whilst having fun along the way. So the thing about business is this, and this is what I learned in the last 7 years from trying all sorts of things to the point where I built my business, and we have a very happy, big multidisciplinary team helping lots of patients, and it creates freedom as well. It's given me freedom to hopefully do these videos to provide a blueprint of what's worked for us so that more clinics can do that, so we can serve even more patients. But success doesn't necessarily come from your shiny objects that everyone wants to talk about. The software, like what are we like? What competition are we running this month? Or what's the management tools that you're using? Oh, how do you write copy for your emails? As a matter of fact, it's all about mastering the basics. So you've got to understand that before we talk about these 5 points that I want to discuss with you. If you picture your clinic as a ship, right? This is the ship. And the basics, the fundamentals are not that many in order for the ship to be a true success, to get from point A to point B and to deliver what it needs to deliver. The first thing might be you need the sail. The second thing that your ship might need is the anchor, right? It might need a very important anchor too. The first thing is to navigate the direction and picking up the speed, and that's the oxygen to the ship. The second thing might be the anchor, and the third thing might be where we're going, that compass, your north, south. So these might be the fundamentals of what a successful, robust, sturdy ship looks like. Now I'm going to take you on this visual journey. I want you to think about your practice. What are these basics that absolutely we need to nail down in order for you to have a successful business? And success means different things to many different people. So I'm not telling you what success should mean for you. I'm just defining what a definition of a business that will survive without you is. The stress test, and I always say this to my private clients and to the mastermind that we run, is if someone grabs you and just chucks you on a remote island for 6 months without the telephone, without any internet, without any way to contact your business, will your business survive? When you come back after 6 months, what would that look like? If you've not put those systems in place and all these things in place, and your business will collapse, you don't have a business. Full stop. Some of you may not like to hear that, but if we talk about a business as an entity that can survive with or without you, then by definition, if the stress test fails, then you don't have a business. You might have a very good, awesome, meaningful job inside your organization, but it doesn't mean you have a business. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I was just lucky enough to have the blueprint, and that's exactly what I'm driven by currently, is to build that perfect blueprint so people can see what does it look like to set up, streamline, and scale a successful business. But the first thing is obviously understanding that new patients are the oxygen to the business. So the first thing to picture is having, like, if you're on your ship and you're going fishing, and you can be the best fisherman in the world, but if your net doesn't work properly, if you don't have a great fishing rod, you're not going to capture as much fish as someone who just comes in, massive net, chucks it in the best place possible, wide enough space to capture all the fish. And therefore, a lot of you are probably fishing with a tiny net in a quiet pond, and that's only bringing 1 or 2 fish a week. If you're casting in a big blue sea, you have a great chance of capturing more fish. So for your clinic, that means, how do you spread the word about chiropractic? Are you visible? Does your website look good? Do you do Google PPC? Do you do Facebook advertising? Where are new patients coming from? How many acquisition channels do you have? You know, in my mastermind, in the program that we've built, I have at least 12 different massive, very significant campaigns that we show people how to run every single year, which means new patient acquisition becomes very predictable. We average this year, what is it now, month number 11, we've averaged about, it's probably gone up now, but about 104 to 106 new patients per month on average. That's for my clinic, just for one clinic alone. What would that look like if your clinic did that? So that's what I want you to think about is how big and fancy and shiny is your fishing rod and fishing net in order to be able to capture these patients. Because everyone talks about, but I'm just going to build a business based on referrals. It's not a good business decision. It might sound fancy. You might want to be convincing yourself that all my patients are coming from referrals, which is great. It's not how we build successful big businesses that serve lots and lots of people. So that's the first point. Point number one is new patients, and I want you to think of it as like you're casting your big net, fancy big net. Number two is turning those browsers, those people that are searching for the solution, into believers. That's your conversion. So think about a kid in a sweet shop, in a candy shop, and they're curious, right? They want to go in, they're holding mom's hand, like, should I go in, should I not? But they're not committed yet. And what convinces them? Let's think about this. What would convince me to do something? Well, the friendly shopkeeper giving me a smile might help me to feel less resistant. There's less blockage. They might offer me a small taste. They might say, hey, come and have a chat with us. We might be able to help you choose your best sweet. They reassure me that I would love it if I try it. And now the kid is gone from, like, I'm kind of just browsing to, whoa, I want to try these sweets. I want to try this candy. And for your clinic, the power of conversion should take this curious person who has maybe visited your website, maybe they've watched a few videos of you, maybe they read about chiropractic in the local newspaper that you made an ad, and now they're turning into this, like, I'm at the right place. This is what you need to think about. How do I turn this person from, I don't know if you guys can see here, from uncertainty to I am giving this a try 110%. So you need to just show patients that you really care. That's the first thing. The second thing is you need to be able to answer their question and understand their needs. And that's where we provide scripts. And one of the scripts that I give to my guys has literally been refined hundreds of times, I kid you not, to the point where the script is now almost turned into an objection delivery tool. Meaning, everything that patients can give me an excuse about, we've turned into the script. Therefore, by the time they finish their consultation, even before they come back for the report of findings, they know that that's the right place for them. And then they come for the report of findings, we have another script we teach people how to do, and that just massively increases the chance of someone starting care. Someone being a believer, someone being, just browsing around to absolutely believer, and they cannot wait to start their care. So really, really, really important. They need to see that you're confident, they need to see that you know what you're talking about, and that's how we convert people. So it's really important is, yes, I might give you 104, 106 new patients a month, but if only 10% of those commit to care, you're going to have a much, much bigger problem. So the first thing is new patients, but the second thing is obviously conversion. And this is where I want you to think about the candy shop. Probably sounds very weird if you're just tuning in this video from this point, but you need to go back and you need to watch from the beginning why we're building this visual, this story, because every single point I'm going to write about will be everything you need to go back to basics in order to just double your business. The third point is, and it goes without saying, it doesn't matter how many new patients I give you, it doesn't matter how many new patients start care, what I call it the secret sauce is the retention. Picture your favorite, I want you to do this because I have something that I'm picturing, your favorite coffee shop, your favorite cafe. You might live in London, you might live in Manchester, you might live in a tiny little village, but most people have a favorite, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a cafe, it doesn't matter. You walk in and what happens? This is what happened with me, right? I go to this local shop and I do a lot of work there. I send a lot of my emails and so on. And I walk in, they know my name. They know what I usually order. They may even know how to suggest a little extra, like a little pastry, a little this, a little that from time to time. And guess what happens? I keep going back. not just because of the coffee, but because it's how they make me feel. You're not just a customer. Your clients are not just your clients. They need to be VIP. And when you create this level of atmosphere, this level of personalization, then your clinic should be no different than this coffee shop that I'm just trying to describe. So retention is about creating that special connection. It keeps patients coming back, and it's not just about one visit. You're really not going to change their life if they see you once, or even if they see you 3 times, and then the pain reduces. You're not going to have a massive impact in their life long term. So keep their experience consistent. That's really important. Make them feel cared. Make them feel like you're loyal to them and they should be loyal to you. And just remember your favorite cafe. How do you turn your clinic into that? And I teach people that's an exaggeration, hundreds of different ways you can increase the patient experience. We have something called the perfect patient journey. We have something called Metrics Mastery. It's a course where we know exactly at what point people drop off and what email they need to receive and what follow-up funnels we need to send them and all of that stuff that should support how your business operates. And if that's overwhelming you, good. If that's starting to feel a little bit like too much, good. It shows me that you have an issue with your business, there's a problem and it needs to be solved. If you're just avoiding the fact that something is not working, but I'm just kind of hope for the best, it's just not how business works. And unfortunately, we're in the business of health. Meaning, if you're not equipped enough to build a sustainable business, you're not helping people sustainably. And you're stressing out and you're losing staff and you're not able to hire staff and you're losing patients and you're not able to keep patients. And it's a negative spiral. So that's the third point, is retention. And here, retention. And in terms of retention, I want you to think about your favorite cafe. Each one of these stories should remind you about the concept that I'm trying to teach. And the tactics and the strategies, this is easy. You know, people pay me not even that much money for me to teach them this stuff and for them to be part of the mastermind, and they apply it, and guess what? It works. It works every single time. I've been consulting now for, at the time of recording the video, probably 8-9 months, and we've changed at least 15 practices, complete and utter business for better, within 6 months. And that's how long it takes. But what I also find is people can just work very hard. They have a million and one to-dos. They feel like they're busy. It makes them think like they're working a lot, but they're working on the wrong stuff. They're working on the wrong stuff or with the wrong crowd, which is point number 4. So I hope you guys are excited about this, by the way, because I'm literally giving you the formula how to take your clinic from 0 to $1 million plus a year, build a multidisciplinary team, and have the ability to do whatever you want with your life. Build another business, build a better business, serve more people, step away from the business, whatever you want. The 4th point is the team. This is what I think a lot of people struggle with, and a lot of people seek help. So when I have these calls with people, I call them strategy calls. One of the things is like, Stefan, I'm not sure how to hire, how to build leadership skills. I'm not sure how to teach people. I'm not sure how to coach. I'm not sure how to be an effective manager. I don't know where to recruit from. I don't know how to keep people. How do you do it? And that's how you choose your winning crew. So imagine, this is where I want you to picture a winning team, a very successful team. Man United back in the days, Chelsea back in the days, Chicago Bulls, NBA basketball. But imagine that your sports team has every single player is a superstar, but no one wants to pass the ball. No one has strategy in place, and everyone is just running around. They're all phenomenally fit and active and healthy and dynamic and strong and fit, but they just don't play as a team. Even the most talented players will not be able to win the game. So it's very important for you to picture yourself being like Sir Alex Ferguson. You're the coach, that's your job. And you put the right players at the right position to do the right job. Your clinic's team should feel like they are the winning team, but a team, not individuals. Everyone plays a role, everyone works together. We have lots of different ways how we structure the meetings and how we keep people accountable, how I put my CAs in a little bubble. So there's lots of strategies you want to consider, but your clinic shouldn't be just this place where people work. It should be a place of purpose. Remember this, a place of purpose. And every team member should know exactly what they're doing, and they should know that they're part of something meaningful. This is where team culture comes in, but this is probably another video for me to make. So the 4th thing is team. And I want you to think about your favorite team if you are into sports. We'll just put Man United here, and I've probably lost half my followers. And the final thing that I want to discuss today, which this is where I definitely specialize in, and it's something that I'm very driven by, is building that magic machine. That's your systems. Imagine a line of dominoes, and they're perfectly set up. Give the first one just this tiny little tap, and what happens? The whole row of dominoes will fall perfectly aligned. Now, imagine if one of those dominoes along the line, before you tapped it, it's missing. It's out of place. There's just not going to be the same effect with the same amount of force. So the input of you tapping and the output that you've created is going to be very different. Even though each domino might be a team player, each domino might be a patient, it is completely misaligned because the systems parts and systems SOPs and systems strategies are just not there, or the wrong ones. That's your clinic systems. That's what keeps everything flowing smoothly, from how you use your software to how you schedule patients, how you take money, how you have follow-ups, how you have reminders. Having clear, this is the word I want you to think about here as always, simple systems in place means that your clinic will run smoothly, whether you're there, whether you're not. It's just a bit of magic that makes your clinic efficient. It keeps everyone on track. And I have this concept of buy back your time. And it allows you to buy back your time, especially nowadays with technology, with softwares, with AI. You've got to be utilizing these things, guys. So that's just not just to help you and your team, but ultimately, remember, why we're doing this is to help patients. So point number 5 is systems. And here I want you to think about that domino, okay? That domino effect. Do you have all your dominoes lined up? So as soon as you tap the first one, the effectiveness of how well the system produces the result is much, much greater compared to not having systems or having the wrong systems in place. That's where I literally spend like 3 to 6 months onboarding people into streamlining their business, and then they tell me that they've doubled their revenue, or they've doubled their monthly turnover, or they've doubled their staff, and they've not done anything different. They just systemize the business. They actually build a true business model. It's easy when you're just starting. You don't have to do much change. It's more challenging when you have a big team like ourselves, but it's still definitely beneficial. And some of my clients that we work with, some of the members of the Practice Speak Mastermind, they have 2-3 clinics. Some people have 1 clinic, but with like 15 practitioners. So there's variety in the group that we work with. But just to conclude, guys, building this successful business, building this lasting clinic foundations is just like building a house, 1 brick at a time, but the foundations are really, really important. And these foundations are new patients, being able to convert, being able to retain them, knowing how to build your team, and knowing how to implement systems. These 5 things, I literally can teach anyone how to do, and I truly believe that, and that's what I'm building within 3 to 6 months. So think about your tuning team. Are people in the right place? Going back to basics is just like building a house with really, really good foundations. It's simple, but it lasts. It's bulletproof. Hope you found this video helpful. I'm not going to pitch you anything. If you want to work with me, if you want to find out more about what we offer, just schedule a call and we'll jump on a quick call and I'll see if I can help. If not, until next time, there's a few more videos that you should go back and watch in terms of new patient acquisition and a little bit more strategically on one of these 5 points that we've discussed. And guys, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.